Check your body. You can sleep neither. Let's not sleep together. You can sleep neither. Let's not sleep together. Check your body.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gamersledge Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Mark, and joining me tonight, the great and W. That's all I can see. What is it, Matt?
Great and the
great and wonderful Kazoo. Got it.
It's too long. Dang it.
It is too long. And then also joining us with his blue headsets tonight, it's Red Burgundy, or Dave.
Yo.
You're very blue
You're never
tonight.
actually drinking Burgundy while we're filming. You should see to that.
Yeah. But whiskey is so nice right now.
Well, we have lots to discuss, but we've got some news from this week, but then some other stuff to talk about as well. Let's start with what we've been playing and watching for the last couple weeks since last we met. In the case of Dave, like the last 5 months. Let's start with you, Matt.
Okay. It's pretty simple. I actually didn't write anything down.
What?
I didn't write nothing down. So you're going to get what comes off the top of my brain. And really, there's only been a couple of things. One is Dead Cells. I started playing Dead Cells, and I've beaten the base level difficulty a few times. I'm still working on collecting. I think I have one more rune that I have to collect at the base level before I move on to the second difficulty level. There are 6 if you count the original, so there's 5 more levels. I'm basically stealing Ian and his friend Bag's build from their 3 years of streaming the game now. Yeah, I'm cribbing heavily from that. So just gotta get a couple more things unlocked. I gotta get to the giant and unlock the giant list, and then I'll pretty much be set to just keep going and building. So that, and then The Last of Us Part Two. I think I'm close. I know I'm close. I just don't know how close. I don't know how much longer this all goes on for. And you can't give me any hints because at this point, that in and of itself would be too much for me to know.
Okay.
I know it's not far, but
not.
it's how much farther it goes. I can't even say where I am without being ridiculously spoilery. So, but yeah. So we got that, and that's really all I've done in the game.
Well, you could say
we did
like Nosebleed. Okay, that's a no.
I don't know if it's no or not. I'm not. I don't know. I could say. I could say shot in the back.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I know. I think.
Okay.
Assuming assuming I am with you on that. Yeah, I know roughly how much more you've got.
Okay. So yeah, that's it. I did play a little Rock Band with my daughter. We're still doing that every once in a while. We're basically staying in the losers bracket of the rivals season, so that no matter what week it is, we basically progress until we get to the second to top rank, and then you just can't get any further. So we can play for like 45 minutes in the losers bracket for the week, and we level up. So
explain to me the downloadable packs that they have, like season 14. It doesn't say what's in them. I don't understand what you're buying.
Doesn't, and I don't know if it doesn't because they don't know at that point in time, or if it's because they just don't want to spoil it. So there are two tiers of packs now. There's the tier where you get whatever new song comes out that week. That's a part of the 3 songs that are the highlight, the spotlight songs. So every week of the challenge of the season, there's 3 spotlight songs. One of them is a new song that dropped that week. So if you buy the lower tier pack, you get that song. Mm-hmm. If you have the other 2, you find, generally speaking, we have one of them. We'll have one of the songs, the new one, and the other one's an older one that we just don't have. If you buy the higher tier pack, you get all of the songs. So you're risking, however much you want to risk. Like I figure if we have one, that means if it's a 8-week thing, that means there are 8 songs that I paid for that I don't get because I already have. If you want to think of it that way,
that's
repaying for 8 songs. Yeah. Neither model is great, but I understand it for the people that jumped in at 4 or, jumped in later, that's a great way to build your library, right? Unfortunately, the spotlight songs don't tend to be good, in my opinion, the best song.
Well, I mean, that's like I have put like 2 things in my cart for a while, and I just keep taking them out because I'm like, there's not really an impetus for me to go back. There's like, I'm lucky I have 2 guitars that still work, but you can't find any of the controllers or instruments anymore. I mean, nope, that's fine for me.
You want to pay a refurb on eBay, which is pricey.
Which is super pricey. And I like to sing, so that's not the end of the world. But I can't exactly do that when our windows are open all the time, and the next apartment from me is 4 feet that direction. So it's like, I really want to play, but at the same time, I'm having difficulty finding the motivation.
Yeah, I've got 2 guitars that are mostly functional. I really do need to take one apart and see if I can fix the flipper. It's loose, so you get a lot of double strums on it. Mm-hmm. So I do have to try to pop that apart and see if I can fix whatever's missing or wrong with it. But so the drum kit still works. I've got 2 mostly functional guitars and 2 mostly functional microphones. So
Dave, how many functional Rock Band devices do you have?
None. Never played.
Wow.
Wow.
I actually still have 2 guitars from Rock Band 1 that work, but you can't competitively play with them because they won't log into an account. But yeah.
It was
So-
just never my thing. I don't know. I just never. There was like a whole like investment, kind of thing to go into it, and I just didn't have it in me.
Yeah. Well, it's fun, and especially with the school year going the way it did, it gave my daughter a chance to do some singing because she wouldn't have been able to do that. She didn't have choir or solo ensemble competition or anything this year. So yeah, and it's something, whenever your teenage daughter wants to play a video game and include her parents, you just don't say no. What are you doing?
Yeah, I know. I've been trying to figure that out for the last 5 minutes.
Aside from abusing your poor Wiimote, or not Wiimote, Joy-Con.
Switch Joy-Con. No, seriously, what
He's
are you
not
doing?
going to. He's
Oh,
playing.
you need to know now?
Okay, we can wait.
Yeah, I figured I'll wait till my turn and then I'll tell you.
Oh, okay.
All right.
This
and then
is just a mystery of it, just to see if you guys can figure it out.
no, I don't know what's
Annoying
strange
us.
and wonderful.
Checkbox.
Yeah. And then the other thing is the Monday night stream, our Divinity original
Sin
Sin.
2. Yep.
So
Oh, sorry.
hopefully, Mother of Buckets. What is
That-
with you 2 tonight?
Yeah, what he just, that was awful.
All right. Now watch, I'll be next. But anyway, so that's it on that front. I watched Ad Astra last weekend.
Oh yeah, I
Decent
watched that
flick.
too.
Decent flick. I have some issues with the ending, but it was a very 1950 short story style kind of thing. So it was good. I wasn't really in the mood for it, so I have to kind of account for that because it's don't be remotely tired when you start watching it. Let's put it
That is true.
It feels about as long as 2001. It's not quite as long, but it feels that long. And then I've been my oldest and my daughter have been watching Criminal Minds. So all right, you two, geez Louise, children. I've been watching like every other third random episode of Criminal Minds as it's on. So that's been interesting to try to watch and keep up with what's going on. But so there's that. But other than that, that's pretty much it. I had comics this week, but it was only 2. And since I don't go to work anymore, I didn't drive all the way in to get 2 books. So get it in next week. And after next week, it's pretty constant. So get on to that. And I haven't started a new novel yet. I was going to get on that and I haven't. So that's pretty much it. Oh, and I bought Knack 2 because it's on sale for $4.99.
That's still probably too much.
Nah, the Knack will easily be worth $5. And it's not like I'll get to play it because I'll get done with this. I'll play a few rounds of Dead Cells, and then Ghost comes out on next Friday. So
Yeah, it does. Yes, it does. Dave,
Yes.
besides shaking your marimba there, what have you been up to?
So, Animal Crossing has just been kind of like a daily meditation thing. So, that
Aren't there
happens.
pirates now?
Not well. There's like one guy like dresses as a pirate now, so like that could happen. I haven't seen him yet though. He showed up normal when he watches up on shore, so that's fun. But they did add a bunch of stuff in there, like you can now like swim, in the ocean and stuff. So like that's pretty cool. Like that's different. They really haven't done anything like that before in there, so I appreciate that. Lots of new stuff to find and fill out the museum. And I'm a huge fan.
Seasoning food.
he's playing darts. I figured that out a while ago because he's doing it in groups of 3.
Matt for the win. Bullseye.
Hey,
So
I got a game you can play darts in. It's called Final Fantasy VII Remake. How about you start on it?
yeah, no, I'm not doing that because I have the 50 games in one that they released on the Switch, and I was playing it there.
He's never playing a AAA game again that isn't published by Nintendo. So we might as well just not even try.
No, that's not true. I mean, look, this one was great for, my kid. So,
Yeah, because it's
that's
your
gonna
kid
be
sitting
the
there playing darts while we.
I will tell you that little dude can like slam down bullseyes like no business. I don't know how he does it.
by not drinking.
Yeah, that's probably part of it. But so yeah, but yeah, the 50 games in one is actually pretty cool, especially for a kid. And it was just kind of funny. Like he went and like played like random stuff, and he was just like, "Oh, I want to play this," and I'm like, "Okay, you play Mancala and see how that goes." And he destroyed the computer on his like first game, and I'm like, "Do you know what you're doing?" Or um, so that's kind of but there's a lot of fun things in there. There's like they have like a tank game that's kind of like the old combat for like the Atari 2600. There's like block cars. There's like billiards. There's darts, which is actually a lot of fun. A bunch of card games in it. So I mean, it's super nice chill game. Great for kids. Lots of little like board games in it, like Connect Four and stuff like that. Um, that he can get into.
And how much was
So
this?
I don't know. Probably like the normal $50 Nintendo game or whatever. What? What are you shaking your head for?
So you paid $50 for a 50-in-1 game of ColecoVision games, basically.
Oh yeah, but they look great.
No, you can't even do it with a straight face. You could not deliver that one with a straight face.
I do. Like the bowling's cool. Like they're good stuff. I mean, it's fun. I gotta think of my kid. Sorry.
Uh-huh. And where's your child right now? Is he playing it, or is it just you?
No, but the darts is fun. I like playing that myself.
That's what I thought. Okay.
And I don't have to like concentrate on anything. So like I can talk to you guys and still throw darts. I mean, it's easy. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. I finally got him to turn on Luigi's Mansion 3.
Mm-hmm.
Although he has no idea what he's doing and he got frustrated. And I'm like, dude, like, how about we try playing the game? Like, okay, whatever. It became a whole thing. So he was back to the, let's see, he's playing Burnout Paradise. The remake of that came out on the Switch. So we're playing that. That was a lot of fun.
You know why he didn't like Luigi's Mansion 3, right?
Why is that?
Because he doesn't like games that suck. In-game pun reference. Yes.
Nice.
Boy. And the Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics is $39.99.
See? $39.99.
No, that doesn't. You shouldn't feel better about yourself for $10 difference.
Dude, I'm fine with the game purchase. It's actually a good game. I'm cool with it. So, I don't know what to tell you. I'm okay with it. You can't shame me into thinking I didn't have fun, with it, because I am having fun with it. Just trying to think what else on there. There was something else I was playing. I was playing like some of the old Nintendo games, going back to that.
Did Donkey Kong Country drop, or is it just dropping soon?
Soon. It's like in another like couple weeks or something like that.
Is that going to be free on the service, or you got to buy
Yeah,
it?
on the part of the if you play their online service, it's one of the SNS games.
And it's funny. I'm like, no. So that would be cool. I'm actually like looking through some of the old games I downloaded that were like on super sale that I haven't even played yet, and I was just like, oh yeah, I got those like whatchamacallit, the the role playing games, the South Park ones. I got those.
Oh.
I'm like, oh yeah, never actually played those yet. We gotta start, gotta start playing stuff.
Yeah,
So
Stick of Truth is definitely worth it, and
yeah,
like the second one is better from a combat
gameplay wise,
perspective. Yeah, gameplay wise, it's better, but it loses some of the. You can tell that Matt and Trey weren't directly involved in it. I
oh
guess
that stinks.
it's not. It's not.
Terrible, but it's just you can feel that there's something missing.
Yeah, because they hated working on the first one, but they were
Hmm.
present for it, and so it like
Yeah,
permeates the soul of it. Whereas the second
yeah,
one, you can see that somebody in video games picked up and ran with the idea from Matt and Trey, so
yeah.
it's not quite
Gotcha.
as meaty, but it's still good. I guess is the best way to say that.
For like $10 each, so
Yeah, no, that
I'm
was a
cool.
great price for them.
Yeah, I mean, I can't beat that.
No,
Um, so watching stuff. I also watched Ad Astra. I enjoyed it more than that. I thought the ending was fine. I see why people probably complain because it wasn't really like the movie did a pretty good job of being like pretty decent sci-fi, like real sci-fi.
Mhm.
You
It
know,
wasn't what it advertised, though. I mean, it was, but it wasn't really.
yeah. See, I was talking with another buddy of mine. And he was saying that he goes, "Well, they advertise it totally different." I think I only saw like the first trailer for it, which seemed like a plotting kind of story based.
Yeah, and I guess what I was thinking, I was actually thinking like the bio, the not the bio, but the summary. Like the summary wasn't wrong, but it could have been stated and it made it seem much more.
Actiony.
this is the one
Yeah,
with Brad Pitt, right?
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I've not seen it. It has not been spoiled for me, but I looked at that movie and said, "Oh, it's gonna be what was that? That other
The Fountain.
movie? No, the other sci-fi movie that came out not that long ago.
Interstellar.
Yes, it was gonna be like I just got Interstellar vibes from it. You know, dude in a library kind of thing, where I was like, something's fishy here, and I'm not that interested to see it.
It's perfectly fine. I just
Yeah.
didn't go into it with the right mindset. That was all. I just and there are elements of it that are simply they don't make any sense for the story. They're just there for storytelling's purposes,
Mm.
which is fine. But I wasn't in the mindset for that, so I kept on having to correct myself as I was watching it, going, okay, I am just not in the right mindset for this movie, but I'm too far invested to stop at this point. So just deal with it and adjust your perception. But yeah, it's fine, and like I said, it's probably great, borderline, but you just got to know what you're getting into. Think 2001, and you're pretty close.
I oh this jumps ahead, but since you brought up 2001, um, Star Trek Online has a new ship in their lockbox, and it looks like the monolith from 2001. And someone was trying to ask me what the ship looked like, and I'm like, "Have you ever seen 2001?" And they're like, "No." I'm like, "Then how do I explain this?"
A giant black slab.
Yeah, that yeah, that's what I ended up saying, and they're
Yeah.
like,
It's
"What?"
like a an iPhone 4, but don't turn it on.
No, iPhone 4 is too flat. I was like, it's a black Washington monument. I think was my final descriptor for it,
Mm.
because I was trying to figure out how to get the tapered end, and the Washington Monument was the only thing I could think of. But yeah, so
The model
what?
was
The monolith was a perfect
yeah,
rectangular prism. It didn't have a tapered head.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
yeah.
I
Yeah.
probably, I probably. It's been like I don't know, 25 years since I watched it. So I probably just
Yeah.
morphed it
If
over
it was
time.
20, it's basically the dimensions of a deck of cards, but 20 feet tall.
Okay. Well, then my Washington Monument thing was even more accurate because that's pretty much what it looks like.
Okay,
If you put the tapered head on top of the 2001 monolith, that's what it looks like, legit.
so it doesn't look
Washington Monument does not have the proportionality of a deck of cards.
No, so it's closer to the like the body of the obelisk of the
The
from 2001.
rectangular part.
Yes,
Okay.
but then it's
All
got
right.
a tapered head at the top. That's all.
Okay.
It doesn't come to a point. It comes to maybe halfway up, and then it's flat, and that's what that.
well,
shape
it
looks
is.
like.
It is cold in space.
It is.
Wait, what?
What?
Mhm.
No.
How about
What
that?
else? What else
All
you
right.
been watching, Dave?
So what else have I been watching? So I caught up on AEW, so I'm finally caught up on everything there. We watched Unsolved Mysteries is back. Netflix did an Unsolved Mysteries run, and some of it was really good. If you like that kind of stuff, a couple of them were just like
Did they get the Robert Stack voice impersonator to do?
they did not. They just don't have. They just kind of go into it. They play the music and they just kind of go into it. They didn't bother getting a new host or something like that, which I think is a miss. I think they could have used a host, and they could have got somebody else. Like it doesn't have to be,
Yeah,
them
but
trying to just.
I like the Robert Stack impersonator about a show impersonating people for recreations of.
Oh yeah,
events.
I mean,
I
it
think
would have.
it's pretty hilarious and on the nose.
It totally would have worked. So I do agree that's a big miss. But I mean, for fans of shows like that, it's pretty well done. And they cover wide genres. I don't remember the old one doing like UFO shows so much. Do you remember any of those?
UFO
The-
like
oh,
supernatural stuff on Unsolved Mysteries?
Yeah.
No, never.
Yeah, I don't remember that either.
No.
But they did a UFO episode, so I thought that was kind of weird. And then one was just kind of like boring.
So do the aliens?
there was a show, I can't remember what it was called. There was a show like Unsolved Mysteries that was specifically just like UFO and alternate dimensions and stuff. I don't remember what it was called, but there was a
X-Files.
show like that.
Yeah, it was
No,
called
not
X-Files.
not that one.
Was it X-Files?
No, it wasn't X-Files.
Battlestar Galactica.
I give up.
So say we
Muppet
all.
Babies?
Yes, it was Muppet Babies.
Ducky go down the hole.
That was not Muppet Babies.
I
That was Tiny Toons.
That's Tiny Toon Adventures, but yeah,
I know.
whatever. We're old. Shut up. Go on.
So there's that. We watched Hamilton. So I got to see that. That was really good.
Hey Dave,
Yo,
you'll be back.
dude, over and over again the past few days.
It's on
playing
my
that.
Alexa, so every few hours I'll just be like, Alexa, play it. Right?
Yeah, it's good stuff.
No, stop, Alexa, stop.
Yeah, see, you can't.
I realized as soon as I said it, I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I still can't believe they haven't figured out a way to like have the false triggers go off like that. I know they're still working on it, but every once in a while, like if
You
it's
just-
like playing something,
You
it'll
really
like
need to be able to change the name, like to whatever you want.
I can just see that getting abused.
Like,
Well, you can with the Google. You can make one of those Google Homes whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, I think you
Yeah.
can do custom keywords for all that, for like
Sure,
the
but-
assistant and stuff.
but nobody owns those.
Aw,
Oh,
I own one. Now, granted, I got it for free, but I still own it.
and and Doom Patrol.
Oh, season 2 is season
Which
2
is?
on HBO Max.
Max, yes.
Okay, I need to watch that then.
So So yes, they have Doom Patrol is now squarely on. Well, it's also on HBO Max.
Matt, did you watch season 1?
No.
That next to last episode in the town, Dave, with the thing that the guy accidentally does, my favorite scene of any superhero thing ever. It's just so ridiculous.
See,
and
the
funny.
guy does that thing. That was the best.
No,
Yep.
dude,
Yep.
you have no idea.
Because that is like the pure definition of stupid golden age powers.
Oh god. And it's great because the last episode he was back.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm all for that. That's just like I never thought I would see a show incorporate golden age superheroes and capture golden age superhero.
And they like I like going back and seeing like how they changed like characters.
Yeah.
Because I mean they are digging from like Doom Patrol apparently was just like a really whacked out series, and it's neat going back and seeing like like oh they this character and like how they're actually like being portrayed in the show and stuff, and the changes they made, and like it's pretty cool. They do a really good job. I mean they're clearly having a lot of fun with it. The cast is awesome. I absolutely love Brendan Fraser in it. He's amazing.
Brendan Fraser's in it. Interesting.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, well,
Matt, it's like don't let your children watch it.
No, oh my God, no.
Well, you got to remember, the two of them are 20 and 21. I really don't have much control over what they watch.
Okay, but you have control over one of them. Don't let the last one watch it at all. But
I'm actually not sure if it's okay for the 21-year-old either.
it's pretty interesting. But yes, it is quirky time like to the seventh power. It is not it would not exist anywhere other than DCU, like the direct to consumer channel, because it does not have broadband appeal, which is why I'm actually surprised that they got a second season, but I'm all right with that because it is phenomenal.
I am super thankful they got a second season, because it is very much worth it. But there's a cat doing
attacking a paper bag.
The cat's throwing darts.
Jeez.
Playing hockey with the Switch.
No, it's there's like a box with like a couple. We had like a party. There's a box with like a couple bags of like a variety pack of chips. There's like little black bags of chips, and it's on the floor, and it's a box, and my cripple cat just like flopped in it, and there's like only like 3 bags of chips in there, so it's like making like crunchy sounds and stuff. So I apologize for that. And now like another cat's over there, so they're probably gonna like fight through the box. So
and the chips, the box.
Yeah. And that's gonna be annoying quick. I'm sorry. And but Doom Patrol it's probably my favorite show on TV right now. I love that they have something so quirky that actually works. And I think that's what really is great about the show. Like it has a real heart to it.
It definitely teeters on the line to where it could all fall apart, but they managed to walk the tightrope very well.
Yeah, it's so. I can't even tell you how tough it is, especially like some of the content is like poignant at the same time. Like it's like, and there's heart to it, and there's it's just like it's a special show. It's a special little show, and I hope they don't overdo it, and I hope they don't get like to the point where they're just trying to be wild just to be wild. I mean, they like Mark said, they're walking that tightrope, and they're walking it just right now.
And it's one of those things for me that, like, the way I judge any of the comic book stuff that gets made now is, does it feel authentic to the characters and or the book? And this is like, so it captures the feel of the book so well that it's crazy how much they channeled. It is definitely like a passion project. You can tell that the people that are working on this, they understand the source material, and they are deviating from the source material, but at the same time, you still feel
It
that
feels
it's,
like respectful.
yeah, it feels respectful for the characters, even though the characters don't deserve respect a lot of the time.
That's not the fun thing about it. It's just kind
Yeah.
of, it's like, it's almost like if Always Sunny in Philadelphia, if they had superpowers, whereas
Okay.
at the same time, they're like, there is redeemable qualities in some of them sometimes.
They're very human characters, even though let's just leave it there. They're very human
Yeah.
characters with a bunch of asterisks.
Yeah, a lot of asterisks. But yeah, there's just, I don't know. There's just so many good lines in it. The writing's really well done. It's a superhero show we just do not deserve right now. That's for sure.
Well, enjoy it while you can, because I'm pretty sure DCU is about to fold and be folded
But it's
into HBO Max.
Oh
So
yeah, which
I don't know.
fine with.
Yeah, but I don't know if they're gonna judge like Netflix judges, and it's just not gonna get the views, so it's not gonna get renewed. I'm worried about that.
Oh, that'll suck. Yeah, because
Yeah.
DCU had to like take some chances.
Yeah.
Something, I'm actually gonna miss DCU because I'm reading the comic books with stuff. So that's if that goes away, that's actually gonna suck.
Yeah.
So I'm having fun with that. What was the other thing? There was a DC animated thing that just got released too, a one shot. Oh God, what was it?
I don't remember. I don't remember seeing one.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Well, he searches.
While he
Yeah,
searches, we'll take a quick 60-second ad break, and we'll be back.
Really?
Yep.
We do that now?
Yep.
Seriously?
Yep. It's happening right now.
There was a the other
Unless
cool
it's
thing.
not. I don't
Jeez.
understand how it works. Because like when I watch the stream, like I've got the stream up, we're not at commercial. But it says I'm doing a minute ad break. And it gives me credit for it. Yeah, the whole reason to do it is that when I do it, it now gives me 20 minutes where anybody that joins the channel does not have to watch an ad.
Okay.
And so I can bank that throughout the show.
Oh,
And then
that's neat.
It turns into a credit for my next show, etc. It's not bad.
Okay. Okay. So we.
You're supposed to look faster because the ad breaks over.
Justice League Dark. Justice League Dark Apocalypse War came out.
Oh. Dude, I'm waiting till the whole Metal series is done. That's going on with the Batman That Laughs.
Yeah, that's the ones I started reading on the DCU.
It looks very interesting. Very, very interesting.
It's weird. I got to restart it because I read like 2 issues like late at night one time, and it was pretty cool. But like now I got to like go back and do it and just kind of like read more. I don't think it's all out yet. I mean, it's definitely not all out yet.
No, it's definitely not.
But I know you have access to some of it. Justice League Dark Apocalypse War is really cool. So it was kind of like went like to like an alt story, very John Constantine focused. So you were a fan of it, right?
They had Matt Ryan doing the voice, didn't they? The live action Constantine.
I think so.
I believe so. Yeah. Another solid DC animated movie. Yeah. It's annoying. Like they're so good at this and so bad at other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Although I have to be honest, I'm really curious about this whole Snyder cut at this point.
I'm actually
Well, that's
curious
what you're
about the
supposed to
Cybercon.
be.
Yeah,
What's that?
I'm
You're
actually
supposed to be curious about it.
Yeah, but I'm like, it has to be better than what we got. Like it has to be.
No, it doesn't have to be.
It has to be.
Doesn't have to.
What we got was bad.
I'm
Really,
actually kind of thinking that it
Doesn't
will
have to be any better.
I don't know. I mean, it has to be something,
'Cause-
right?
'cause
It
with
will be
all-
different, and maybe that'll be enough.
There's no
So-
booyah in it.
Clearly.
Anything else, Dave?
It's no, I think we're good.
Okay.
I mean, I'll probably forget stuff.
I mean,
It doesn't matter.
Had I finished The Last of Us last podcast? I think I had.
Yes.
And we just purposely spent all the time not talking about it, which we're going to do
Yep.
again today. We
Nice.
will have a spoiler cast incoming once
When-
Matt finishes it.
It's got to be this week. I got new game Friday. This is like the most caught up on games I've ever been, like in current games, and I'm still not caught up. But this is weird.
Played some more Fortnite. The water is slowly receding from the map. They've introduced vehicles, so that's interesting.
Isn't there a Captain America event going on right now?
Yes, there is, and I already have the cat. The awesome part was the day that they launched Captain America. He's got this emote, which is fantastic, where he stands there with his shoulders squared and his chin up, and then fireworks explode behind him, and one of them is in the shape of the shield. It's pretty badass actually. But then it just as a random, they have like 900 emotes, and they always sell them on like a cycle. Well, one of the ones happened to be one where the character does a backward somersault and lands in the superhero landing, and so
Nice.
it fits Cap pretty good. And then I also paired him with one that is doing a very effeminate dance where he makes a rainbow, kind of like, it's pretty good too. Anyways, and then I gave him every other like man out of time dance I could find, to where it looks like he's 70 years old and trying to dance with the kids. So yeah, that's pretty good.
So he's doing the Charleston, and
He's doing a lot. Not the Charleston, but there are quite a few dances in there that are just like, they're really dorky looking. And so it fits him. And I started doing that stuff in one of the lobbies, and somebody just walked up to me and did a square. Oh, you can't do it that way. A square emote in the air. I'm like, yep, that's exactly what I was going for. Let's see. Rift's Divinity Original Sin 2, which that Monday game is providing a lot of laughs. So thank you for joining in on that, Matt.
Yep.
I'm still not sure we're gonna finish it before the Baldur's Gate 3 early access comes out, which I'm pretty worried about because I don't have any more days, and we'll figure it out. Exalted, DDO, been playing that a bit as well. And then we have one game to talk about that was part of the sale last week. I don't know if it's still on sale this week. I would be kind of surprised if it's not. It's called Outward. It is a third person. If you go on the internet, they'll say it's a Souls light. I will disagree with that wholeheartedly. About the only thing it has in common with Souls is that you have to roll to dodge attacks, and you have to read the description on everything. I would call it a survival game. You have to craft things. You learn recipes by trying to craft other things. Except that there's definitely people in this one. In most of the Souls games, it's you and you alone, and that's it. There are other, like, you're part of a village, and you have to defend the village and do all that stuff. There's also magic in it that you can learn. And it's an interesting system. The game was made by 10 people. The graphics are craptastic. They are not like, they are PS 1.5 graphics. I mean, PS2
Ouch.
really. You like your slider bar for character customization when you create your character maybe has 6 things on it if you're lucky for that particular option. And then in the end, it doesn't matter what you pick because like I picked a guy with goatee, and then as soon as I put a hat on, I had no goatee. So it's one of those things, but that's okay. Most of the time you're looking at the back side of the character anyways. So it's not like you're really seeing your customization other than the stuff you pick up. But it's a realistic game in that you can get too hot or too cold, and you can actually like pass out from being too hot, or you can die from being too cold and not starting a fire and heating yourself up, or drinking tea or something like that. And it has all kinds of different climates in it. And then the other thing is that there is a map, but you cannot see where you are on the map. So you actually have to find the landmarks in the game and drive that way, which means Matt, we would never see again. Love you, Matt. It's actually, the good part about it is that it does have 2-player co-op, drop in, drop out. And it's very easy to get into a friend's match and go. It also has split screen co-op, which is a rarity nowadays. And the game is fun. It's fun. The game is a little unfair because it doesn't tell you when you start that several quests are timed quests. And so if you just take your time and enough time passes, you fail the quest and you may actually lose access to cities because you didn't finish the quest, which is kind of a big deal.
Wow.
Especially since it encourages you to put all your stuff in the chest in your house in the starting city. And there is a quest that if you do not do the quest in time, the entire city is gone, including all your stuff that was in the chest in the house that you no longer have at the city that you can no longer get into. So that's bad. And it's one of those times where Ken playing ahead actually saved my ass because he lost his city and he helped me keep mine tonight. So it's pretty good. I'm actually really enjoying this. Like, it was $15 on sale. I have been debating it for a while because I'm always on the lookout for local co-op games that the wife and I can play together. Although, to be fair, she took one look at it while I was playing with Ken.
To be fair,
She said, I would not,
Touch that with a.
I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. And I'll tell you why. The reason, the most logical of reasons, she did not like the footfall sound as you ran around.
Okay, then.
Science.
That's-
So.
I mean, I can't say anything. I've put games down for way less reasons.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, I know. So, but it's actually been a really fun time, especially if you can do it with a friend, because it makes the fights easier. It has lock-on combat. It has magic. The magic is weird, but kind of nice. It's like a ritual. Like you have to do step A, then step B, then step C. So it's not like I can just cast a fireball. I have to first cast a spell that gives me a warm attribute, and then once that's done, then I can light my weapon on fire, and then once the weapon is on fire, then I can use the stored energy in the weapon to cast a fireball, which makes combat interesting. Now, once those first 2 steps are done, I can do that until the charge on the weapon runs out completely, which is a time thing, not an energy thing. So as long as I've got the mana to cast a fireball, I can keep doing it. But it does have a recharge time on it as well. So it's fair, but it's not the most difficult game in the world, but not the easiest either. It's a good challenge for 2 people to go at together, or 1 person if you like playing alone, like I know many of the people on this panel do. You can do that too. But it's been a lot of fun. Then also, as everybody on this panel knows, after our last podcast, my computer decided to
Really?
Yeah, sort of. And I couldn't figure out what was wrong, and my streaming software just stopped working every time. It would hang up every time I would do anything. And then on top of that, all the audio from my capture card started coming through like it was underwater. And I could not find any help on any of the forums, etc. Even because I've had it for more than 2 years. Razer, I had a Razer Ripsaw. Razer did not want to help me or even let me pay for support because it was over 2 years old. I went on their support forums.
Wow.
Yeah. I went on their support forums. No one answered me, so the support forums were not super supportive. And so I got really mad, and I just decided I would buy a new capture card. And
From a different company, I hope.
yeah, from a different company. I had been looking at them just because I knew with the PS5 coming out, I wanted to future proof if I ever did upgrade, and they are stupid expensive. But I ended up paying about $300 for one that will allow me to do 4K 60 HDR capture. So the downside is that because of COVID and everyone working from home, my internet speed does not allow me on upload side to get high enough to stream 4K 60. So we'll figure that part out, but I have the ability. Anyways, I took the old one off, put the new one on. All my problems disappeared. All of them. So it was all the capture device.
Wow.
Like the day after I did this and realized everything was working again, I got a message from XSplit, which is the software we use to broadcast, and the devs basically said, "Hey, we think it's something with your capture card." I'm like, "Yeah, it totally was. Good eye, Puck. Yay!" So I'm glad that got some confirmation there. So yeah, so that's been an ordeal. I actually finally, for the first time since HDR was enabled on the PS4, turned HDR on and got it set up, and it's actually coming through to my TV now, which you can do on a
And your
base
eyeballs cried with joy?
No, not really.
What?
I mean, I don't know that I've played anything. I've been playing Outward, dude. I told you PS2
Okay,
graphics.
right.
I
Okay, so
haven't
you
put in something like Horizon Zero Dawn yet, or something like that.
or even just The Last of Us Part 2. Just fire that back up, play a little bit without, then turn the HDR on and just look at the difference between the two.
I can't really discuss this until we go to the spoiler show. But I'm hoping Ghost of Tsushima. Yes, my eyeballs will bleed. That's when I think I'm going to see it. Is Friday.
It is fun. I can't explain it. I mean, I know roughly what HDR is, but yeah, I mean, you like screens will come up with the loading screen and it'll be like, "Oh, HDR detected. Would you like to turn HDR on?" Well, I think yes, I would. And just the difference in the loading screen is ridiculous.
Oh, see, I've never gotten that prompt so far. I just turned it on the system. Is it going to prompt me? I'm confused.
So HDR, the system, like when you're just in the menus and stuff, it won't do HDR. It just doesn't do it on the main menu or whatever. Maybe it does on the Pro, but on the base model, it doesn't. But like the first time I stuck in, or I fired up, I'd never played Left Behind. So I fired up Last of Us Remastered to play Left Behind before 2 dropped. And we got to the typical loading screen with the window and stuff. It said, "Oh, you have an HDR capable monitor. Do you want to turn HDR mode on?" I was like, "Yes, I do." And I looked at the background. It went black, and it came back, and it looked. It was hard to believe that they were the same image. It just looked that much different. So that's my. Last of Us Part 2 did the same thing. When I fired it up the first time, it said, "Oh, you have an HDR monitor. Would you like to turn HDR on?" I'm like, "Yep." And same thing with the loading screen.
So I found I actually had to turn HDR on my TV, which I thought it was on automatically, but it was not. So
Okay.
once I did that, then the PlayStation let me set HDR automatic. So now I'm wondering if I'll get that prompt or if it's already on. I don't know. So I'll try and fire up Remastered because I have no qualms about it.
See, I'm not going to be able to upgrade a TV downstairs. I got a 60-inch downstairs. It's like,
see,
and
I'm really like when PlayStation comes out, I'm really thinking about upgrading the TV because, well, actually, I don't need to upgrade the TV because it's 4K HDR already. Yeah, I guess I don't need to. So, right. I was thinking I needed to upgrade my TV for some reason.
What? All right.
Yes,
Because
Mark, you need to upgrade your TV.
no, because I keep thinking that I don't know. I keep getting confused between the PS4 Pro and my TV for some reason. Like I keep thinking I have to upgrade both, but I don't because
I'm pretty sure I'm the one that's been drinking.
You have some sort of mind meld thing going on.
on the watching front, we've been watching a lot of Supergirl, Titan Games. They just finished the Western Championship. Dave wasn't here for that rant, dude. You need to watch Titan Games. It's really good.
I don't know. I'm pretty hooked on The Floor is Lava right now.
Oh,
And
gosh.
I actually want to watch that, but
It's fun. It showed up under my son discovered it first. Like I heard about it and then forgot about it,
yeah,
and then it shows up under the kids profile.
It's terrible but amusing.
It is
Well-
kind of funny.
Well, so have you watched Ultimate Tag?
No, I've seen a couple like things on YouTube. I haven't like watched. Is it a show now?
It is a show, and it is American Gladiators with parkour.
Oh, there because I saw like competitions.
Yeah, it's a competition. It's a straight up American Gladiators
Mhm.
as tag.
So they're going against like a set of people who are like
Correct.
standard, like on a show. Okay, yeah, I haven't
Correct.
seen that.
Yeah, it is 100% American Gladiators, and they have this stupid names like the Geek or the Hammer or stuff like that. It's yeah.
Which
there's
that
like-
doesn't even make sense in tag.
Well, it's supposed to do with their background or something. I just
Or whatever.
whatever. Yeah,
Well-
it's dumb, mindless entertainment fun, and they have different types of tag, so that's kind of interesting too. But yeah, but that's not as good. The Titan games are like 6 notches up. Like the American Gladiators would not be able to do the Titan games. I'm pretty impressed with the fact that The Rock came up with these challenges and then actually got somebody to build them, and it's ridiculous.
That's fine. I haven't seen anything like that. I just remember the American Gladiators really lost their luster for me when they made the mistake of putting NFL people on the show. Anybody remember that back in the day? So American Gladiators one show decided that they would invite NFL stars to the show.
And they decimated the American Gladiators.
So at the time, there was an Eagle named Seth Joyner, and he was, a monster. He was on there with like Reggie White. I mean, it was like the classic Eagles defense at the time. They were like, they were like the defense at the time, and so they did the joust,
Mm-hmm.
and Seth Joyner just like it lasted 2 seconds. He hit the guy once, and he just dropped. And he just got up. He's like, I've never been hit so hard in my life. And he was like, it wasn't even like, how they would try and like do characters and like everything like that. He just went, I've never been hit so hard in my life. He was just brutally honest, and it was just great.
Well,
But that was the last time they ever did that.
On the Titan games. The way it works is you've got 3 competitors per week. 2 competitors per week, and they go through all these challenges for the ability to compete against the Titan. And the Titan is like the reigning champion. And at the beginning of the show, The Rock has handpicked 6 athletes from across the nation. So they can be football players, they can be, American Ninja Warriors, they can be boxers, you name it. And it's both men and women. So there's men and a women's division. And there's practically no difference between the two, which is also amazing. But if you win on the final obstacle, which is called Mount Olympus, then you become the Titan, and you have to keep competing against the winners of the next week to retain your Titan crown. And then at the end, they have like the winner of that region, and then they fight the Titans from the other regions. And so it's kind of it's very interesting, and
That sounds fun.
it is actually a lot of fun, and it's crazy like how taxing some of these challenges are. They're pretty crazy. So yeah, I can't recommend it enough. We've been having a great time watching it.
What's that on?
It's on Hulu,
Oh, okay.
and NBC. If I think it's Mondays, but I'm not positive. It might be.
Oh, it's a
Friday.
regular network show.
Yes, it is. Okay.
Can you hear that?
My. Are you okay?
Oh, dude.
Go on with your podcast. And then, of course, we watched AEW's Fighter Fest night 2. I am that match between the Young Bucks, FTR, and Lucha Bros and Butcher and the Blade. Holy crap, man!
It's insane.
I have never seen a Canadian destroyer off someone's back to the outside onto a pile of people before. That was ridiculous.
When I saw that, I was like, "This is like," and that was where I had to like turn it off for the night. I'm like, I need to take.
But to be fair, in the
To be fair,
in the opening match with Hangman and Page versus Private Party, Isaiah Cassidy does this move where he does a standing jump into the splits over the top rope and hits the middle rope from backwards to slingshot himself forwards into a flipping dive to the outside. I'm like, do people not understand how physics work? You're not supposed to be able to backwards thrust to slingshot yourself forward after doing the splits from a standing jump. It's like, what are these people made of? Silly string? I don't get it. But still, just like the two shows were phenomenal. We saw the return of the FTW belt from 1999 in ECW, which that's kind of crazy in and of itself. And just lots of good matches. And that Jericho Cassidy match was really, really, really good. I just wish there'd have been fans.
yeah, that would have been that. I kind of miss it for that because I mean that was people would have been losing their minds on that one.
People would have been losing their minds in that 8-man tag match for sure.
Well, they would the whole show. I mean, there really wasn't too many down moments in that, in those shows. But that's just Jericho. I cannot believe how good he still is. Like I know he's lost a step. I know he's not, Lionheart anymore.
He's Bruiser Brody Jericho now, basically.
Yeah, like he's evolved, but he's still so good. And as far as like working with people and everything like that, just like he's just like, he plays it up, the whole psychology and everything, the whole how he, spending weeks like setting up how he doesn't respect them and everything, and what he does, and all of a sudden he they're getting like this huge work out of the guy, and after his gimmick is that he does nothing. His gimmick is he's just this real lazy wrestler. Like he wrestles half the time with his hands in his pockets.
Which, to be fair, yes, the athleticism required to
is even more. Yeah.
Yeah, it's even more than if you were actually lazy. He's like doing dives and rolls and kip ups with his hands in his pockets. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. Not kind of. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is ridiculous.
But the whole him starting off with a headbutt like that was also awesome. I just thought that was a really great.
It's not
sequence.
Something you see from him actually in any of his matches, so that's why it was so interesting.
It was a fun match to watch.
I still think it was a mistake. I think they should have put him over. I mean, I guess they don't want to because theoretically they're going to have him lose to Tyson, have Jericho lose to Tyson whenever that picks back up, which
Yeah.
I'm expecting at the pay per view in September. So maybe they don't want to hand him two losses like so quickly together. But I feel
Yeah,
like
they need to space it out, space it out a little bit. But I honestly, I don't know. I think that match kind of did put him over at the same time.
no, it did.
Like
You
without
know,
without
yeah,
winning, like that was a respect match.
no, it was, and I agree with that. I feel like AEW is hitting a they're hitting a threshold where they need to cement some of these new guys as stars with an upset victory over somebody like
Yeah,
Jericho or Mox or Cody or something like that, and it's kind of becoming predictable, which is bad.
right.
And now I feel like Jericho's now the Hogan of AEW. You know,
Yeah,
he's not going to put people over. I mean, you could say he's putting him over by working a match with him. Yeah, but there's still something. There's a difference between making him look strong, but actually like making him into a star because he beat. There's a difference. So I hope they do kind of fix that.
Although
I
I
also
do hate the cop out move of like just an elbow.
It's a back elbow to be worse. It's like if my
Yeah,
finisher was a freaking drop toe hold, and I'm like, oh, it's the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment. We just
yeah.
saw
It's
17 people do 6 back elbows when somebody was behind them, and they're not knocked out. But yeah,
yeah. It's like I get it. I understand. I understand why. I understand the whole concept. It's uh, just
I
weak
mean,
sauce.
if you look at it, the other way that you can look at it is that Jericho basically has 3 finishers. He's got the
Hmm.
walls of Jericho / the Lion Tamer. To
Hmm.
be fair, he doesn't do the. To be fair, he doesn't
To
do
be
the lion.
fair,
He doesn't do the Lion Tamer anymore. It's always the Walls of Jericho now.
yeah.
He has the Code Breaker, and he's got the Judas Effect elbow.
Hmm.
Cassidy kicked out of a bat hit and a Code Breaker, and still kicked out.
Yeah,
He did not, could not, would not on a train submit to the Walls of Jericho. So all Jericho had left was the Judas Effect.
right.
So
Which I like. I said, I get it.
I get it
It's
too.
just out of I don't know. Out of
Yeah,
everything that's out there,
yeah. Although I
it's like
really, you know that Orange Cassidy's finisher is a Canadian destroyer, right?
yeah,
Yeah, and I think in AEW it's not anymore. I think it's that Superman punch, and that Superman
yeah.
punch looks freaking great. Like
It
possibly the
does.
best Superman punch I've ever seen.
It is. He does work that pretty well. The other thing I liked his little fake out with when he does like the lazy kicks going into a super kick. That was a real nice. That was a
That
real
was a
nice
real
touch.
nice touch. I don't think he's ever done that on the Indies.
I
Ever.
Yeah. I don't
It's
remember seeing that
it's
in
always
anything
the
he's done
fake
here.
kicks. And I loved that he actually psyched out Jericho because that was great because Jericho was like,
Yeah,
if you do that stuff, I'm gonna murder you. And
yeah.
so yeah, it was good stuff. I thought the psychological story that they told in the ring was fantastic. I
That's kind of where I'm saying is it's like Jericho's still so on top
oh
of
yeah,
his game.
yeah.
Like and just to be able to just to pull that match out of like with him because I think he could probably do that with anybody.
Yeah, I think he could
And
too.
and it's not saying it's not taking away from Cassidy. I mean, obviously Cassidy is a worker.
Yeah.
Like as much as like half of his gimmick is not working. I mean, it's
Right.
kind of like here it's kind of a lot like like Stevie Richards was.
Yeah. Except
Like
good.
Stevie Richards.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I knew it would get you. It was a little jab. That's all.
Was
I'm
like
just kidding. I
yeah,
like Stevie Richards.
yeah, because like Stevie gets over on like personality and being a comedy routine and everything like that. But when you really break down his like in ring stuff, especially like I've seen stuff like later that wasn't on TV where he was doing like I saw him get the the was it they did like a new brief promotion. It was like Hardcore Revolution or something like that. It was kind of like something in between like all the other indie stuff that was going on. and he took the championship for that in like a tournament like throughout the night. And like, I mean, his matches were amazing.
Mhm.
Like, and he's just like, one of the one of the cleanest like workers around. Like, I mean, you ever see like, especially his later ECW matches and everything, anything after that on the independent circuit. Like this, I mean, he's just like, he can make anybody look amazing, which is like just what you want out of somebody that's like, a good, somebody can like, work well with that. And that's kind of like, what Orange Cassidy is like. You can see that in there. And it's just, I always really like people like that.
So I had never seen FTR before AEW, not once.
Mhm.
And I am super excited about this FTR Lucha Bros match next week.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Okay, we're done with wrestling, Matt. I'm sorry.
Oh.
You're on mute. We can't hear you.
I'm back.
Thank you for
Just saying that.
putting the mute on because he was swearing the whole time about us talking about wrestling.
Yeah.
No. I was actually doing a little online shopping while you were talking, and I hear Jericho, a bunch of other things I don't recognize. Jericho. That was what I heard.
Nice.
Ghost of Tsushima. Are we all picking it up?
Dave's not.
Of Tsushima.
I mean, it might be like a game day decision. Like I have to, like, what's the other reviews like good?
I don't know when the embargo is. They
I'm
didn't
sure it's
embargo it as early as Last of Us, which was ridiculous.
Well, let's not.
What?
I want to talk about that, but I don't think I can until we do the spoiler cast because even the reviews play into this. Because the reviews had stuff, embargoes.
No, well, I didn't pay attention. So
yeah,
July
neither did I till after.
So
July 14th?
Tuesday
Tuesday's
the release. So still a good 3 days before release. So that's a pretty positive indicator for any normal game that's not The Last of Us that needs 3 weeks ahead of time.
Right. Well, good. Dave, do you not like samurai action, feudal Japan, pretty graphics?
I guess it really kind of depends on like, like I like all the ideas about it, but it's just like, I think I gotta, like if the gameplay ends up being like this slow plotting kind of like sold or like, not fun kind of gameplay mechanics.
It's going to be much more, from what we've seen so far, it's much more, I think Mark made this comparison earlier, but it's much more Bushido Blade than it is Souls.
Yeah.
So it's, there's a stealth part to it that you can do stealth, but when you get into just straight up action, it's a timing game, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have your stance, you go to a block, you switch stances, and you go into your attack, and then 1 or 2 strikes, you're done with that guy, move on to the next. So it's not nobody's a sword sponge, right? The difficulty level, all the enemies have the exact same health and take the exact same damage. It's just how smart they are and how close your timing window is. So, yeah. So there's no sword sponges in this game. Well, okay, there might be a boss level guy somewhere that's a sword sponge, but that's not the main premise of the game.
Yeah. For some reason, that just made me think of Mark of the Cree.
I never played that, so I can't even.
Really?
Yeah, no, that's one I missed.
I played it, but only a little bit. I don't think it held my attention for long.
Yeah, so bad. It was such a great game.
I've only ever heard good things, so I believe that is a true statement.
It was what, PlayStation 2 at this point?
Yeah, that was a PS2 game.
God, we've been at this for a long time.
You're right. There is a new Netflix trilogy coming on July 30th called Transformers War for Cybertron Siege. It is a trilogy.
David, wet for this one.
It looks so good.
It does look good. I
The thing I'm excited for, okay, so when I was a kid, there was a little movie that came out
Years ago.
a long time ago. There was a movie that came out called Transformers the Movie. I love this thing. So, and I know there's a lot of controversy over this movie because, they killed off a bunch of people and stuff like that. I mean, that movie had a body count right in the first couple minutes.
I mean, they had
Where-
to introduce new toys for the kids to buy, so why not?
Yeah, which I totally get. But like me as a kid, like I used to get like really frustrated, like watching like G.I. Joe cartoons. I'm like,
Because they
all
never
right,
died. Like 90 billion explosions, and everybody's always
Yeah.
crawling out the cars.
yeah, I was like, like they just shot a missile at that gyrocopter, and somehow they shot straight up and parachuted out. Like that's just not like
And
no. I got really
and
frustrated
Tomax and Zaymot are parachute to the ground, no problem.
always. And I used to get like real frustrated with that. I mean, then again, I was a weird kid. I was like always rooting against Hulk Hogan, So like I'm not like, we're not going on. Don't use me as like, any kind of like legitimate litmus test of,
So
what
you
people
were
think.
you were on the side of gravity for Hogan? You were rooting against Hulk Hogan, so you're rooting for gravity because it screwed up his hips and back and butt, and he can't walk now because he busted his ass for you, and you didn't appreciate it.
I didn't realize he couldn't walk now.
Well, he can walk, but he's had like spinal fusion surgery like 6 times.
Oh. I don't
300
hate. I don't hate the guy. I just
No,
want
just-
to.
You were counterculture. Let's just go with that.
I just wanted Paul Orndorff. I just wanted Paul Orndorff to win. That's all.
You were
Right?
counterculture. You were counterculture.
Dude, I was a huge Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff fan. I'm sorry. Actually, no, I'm not sorry. He was awesome.
Carry on. Continue.
Never.
What's the rest of this?
Matt's just like, don't go into wrestling again. But so then you enter this Transformers the movie. I was always very frustrated as a kid with Optimus Prime. I get it. He was cool, had a great voice. Autobots roll out, gives everybody the tingles. I get that. He frustratingly followed the rules when other people were not following the rules. And I used to yell at my TV going, dude, they're cheating. Optimus, they're cheating. Do not respect that. You got to do something about that.
He was
So
Robot Superman. He was a Boy Scout. He followed the rules.
I get it, but he followed the rules a little bit too much, and just like, the greater good suffered because of it.
Yeah, but don't you
So
come
enter-
and tell me that Rodimus Prime was better.
Anything was better than Optimus as far as I was concerned at the time. Okay, at the time, all right. Look, I was just whatever. But then they killed Optimus, and I was just like, whoa.
To be fair, they
To be
killed
fair.
Ultra Magnus first, which was like the Boy Scout Robin of Optimus.
Speaking of Robert Stack,
yes, and then they killed off Optimus, and it was traumatizing.
then they killed off Optimus, right? But then, not only that, but also Starscream briefly got his due because I was a huge Starscream fan. So like this movie was like really awesome, for me on many levels.
Cool.
Hey, I took the win for as long as I had it. So I thought that was great. This seems to be kind of along those lines where it's just like,
So now I understand why you were excited for it and like it, because they're losing the war because Optimus is good. That's the short. Yeah, I get it now.
it's just proving me right again.
And I'm going to fact check you. Ultra Magnus did not die before Optimus because he takes the
Yeah, you're
Matrix
right.
from Optimus
Yeah,
originally.
but then they kill
Yeah.
him too, and that's what
Yeah.
what I was like. No, not Ultra Magnus. Not rip off Optimus.
Not rip off Optimus, yes.
It's,
Well, not the entire Transformers were rip-offs of other things, but anyway, that's a whole episode of the Toys.
oh, don't you?
Carry on. Let's go on with the
Jetfire,
rest of the
anyone?
story.
Jetfire.
Yeah,
Anyone?
yeah.
Greatest original Transformer ever.
I thought so also.
Totally not a Macross thing. Not at all.
I was mad just because I never had one.
I had one. I didn't know it
Oh,
was.
they're changing the head.
No,
Nope. I didn't know it was Macros for like.
I had a
Years.
fake Shockwave. I had like the Radio Shack version of Shockwave. It was hilarious.
So it said Tandy on it.
It did.
Yeah. Nice.
I had a
But
couple
it
of robots.
Not a couple GoBots.
I had a lot of GoBots.
I had Turbo. Turbo was great.
They were the.
Scooter.
But I had all of Mask.
Oh, I still have one. I kept one.
I have one of the masks here somewhere in one of my buckets.
I was a huge fan of Corvettes growing up, so I
Mhm.
kept that one.
So you got.
And that was
Chargers.
no,
Oh no, the black Corvette.
right.
Oh.
That was oh wait, that was Calhoun Burns. Why do I remember that? His mask was Gulliver,
Yes, that is correct.
and it was Raven. Was his
Code name.
It was his car, and it turned into like a hydroplane. It was a Corvette to a hydroplane. How do I remember this stuff?
I remember the show existing. You guys, you're a little extra on this one. But
Well, you got to remember, I grew up in Southwest Missouri. There was Walmart and like one other toy store in my town, and so I would constantly go to both to see if they had anything besides the original 3 that got released, and I couldn't go anywhere else. So it was traumatizing for
we
me.
didn't even have Walmart here when.
Well, it was Walmart, but not Walmart that you know now. It was Walmart that more resembled a five and dime variety store. At the time.
Worse.
Yeah, we had Pomida.
They're so off the rails on this show.
Oh yeah, that's all right.
All right. So, what was your point? You hated Transformers and you loved the bad guys,
And they're winning, and that's why he's excited about it.
Yeah,
the-
because it's just proving me right yet again that Optimus is just like,
The worst.
well, yeah, that's why they brought him back 3 times because everybody hated him.
Yeah. You're like my
Hey.
wife. She only likes the bad guys. Like we're watching Supergirl. They introduced Manchester Black. They introduce. Is anybody watching Supergirl?
not the recent ones.
Can I talk about this?
Oh yeah, go ahead. It's gonna
Matt,
be
are
forever.
you okay with this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. They introduced
Spoiler
Manchester
warnings for
Black.
anyone who's
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
They introduced Manchester Black as a good guy, and I'm scratching my head going, what? No, this is going to take a turn. And oh yeah, Manchester Black is the bad guy. And Lexi's like, I don't know who this Manchester Black is, but I like him. And then he turns totally bad, and she's like, how did I not see that coming? I liked him. He's got to be the bad guy. I'm like, yep, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to spoil it for you. But sure enough, as soon as they introduced him, I'm like, that's an interesting way to bring him in. And sure.
That's
But yeah.
awesome.
So yeah. Are you going to watch it, Matt, or are you not interested at all?
Supergirl?
No,
Or
Transformers
Transformers.
War
Okay.
for Cybertron.
No, yeah, I'm definitely interested in that. I really love the War for Cybertron, the 2 High Moon games. Was it War for Cybertron and
Devastation?
Devastation. Yeah.
Devastation was platinum.
Oh, well, that's the last one.
It was was it War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron or something like that. Those 2 games, they were very, very influenced by the original series. So yeah, no, this is the first thing. I mean, Devastation was fine as a game goes. It didn't hold. I mean, I finished it, but it didn't do any replay, or drive me for anything. But yeah, this is looking really good. It'd be nice if that, drove I'll say a companion game, not a game of the show necessarily, but something in the same, using the same voices or something. Because while these voices are different than the classic, they are very much in the spirit of the classic voices.
Yeah. I will say that to follow up Dave, I'm excited for it because it looks like they finally kill Bumblebee, who I hate more than any other character ever.
It's okay. He'll just come back as Goldbug.
So it looks like Ubisoft's not E3 press conference is leading to some interesting developments. It will be this Sunday, and if you log into a Uplay account during the live conference, whether you're watching it or not, you can get a free PC copy of Watch Dogs, which Watch Dogs 1 was...
Watch Dogs 2, isn't it?
No, I believe it's Watch... Oh, maybe it is. Hold on one second.
Watch Dogs 2.
It could very well be. It was
And you saw the
truncated.
headliner
Oh, yeah,
got
it's
leaked already, right?
Watch Dogs. No. Oh, the Far Cry with the guy
6,
that I don't...
Yeah.
I'm actually only gonna watch that for Watch Dogs Legion because I'm positive it's gonna be a launch title for next gen now. Although as a PSA, if you pre-order it and it gets the free upgrade, you're gonna be saving yourself $20 since they want to charge everybody $70 for PS5 games and Xbox One Series X games. So, food for thought.
Seems like a lot.
Yeah, and I beat Watch Dogs 2. It is a lot of fun. It's not a bad
Dave,
game.
did you find somebody with herpes to stalk in Watch Dogs 2?
I'm never gonna live that down.
No,
No.
you aren't. Never.
Hours, 2 hours I spent trying to get that perfect screenshot.
Oh boy.
Sony,
You remember having that kind of time?
Oh, go ahead.
I do. That was awesome.
Carry on.
Sony invests $250 million to become a minority stakeholder in Epic, makers of the
So now the
Unreal
question is, do
Engine.
they own more or less than Tencent?
I don't think it matters because the whole point for them was to bolster the partnership that they have for Unreal Engine with Sony developers, which this becomes very interesting because if Sony now pushes a standardized development architecture for programming software to all of its studios, then suddenly the kind of sharing that you've seen between Naughty Dog and Insomniac is now magnified across multiple dev houses. And it's interesting that if one gets closed down, then they can more seamlessly move to another one, etc. That's kind of interesting. And it makes total sense for Epic because that means that every game that launches on the platform is going to be making them money since they take a cut of every game that launches on the Unreal Engine. So it's kind of a win-win on both sides. And it's very, very smart for Sony's future, I think.
Yeah, and also, I guess we kind of got the foreshadowing of this with that Unreal Engine 5, preview when it was running on a PlayStation 5, so we kind of had an inkling that something was up, but
yeah. And if they use that engine to upgrade Fortnite, it's going to look real pretty.
Nobody's going to upgrade Fortnite.
That's my expert detailed analysis on the situation. That's all the news, unless you have something that I didn't cover. There's not been a ton of actual quality news.
Yeah, it's I think there have been a couple of things, but again, I for whatever reason, I had a really not happy day today, and I didn't prepare anything. So I have a feeling there were a couple other things, but thank you, I appreciate it.
You're not the villain, so Dave doesn't love you, but I love you.
Amazon's making a Fallout TV series.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's by the creators of Westworld, so.
Yeah, that was. I remember. I think Ian posted. I think I first saw that.
Yeah.
Ian posted it. And I was just like, wow, that announcement was a roller coaster of emotion.
Uh,
Seth
X,
Rogen is
It was just like, ooh, ooh, oh. I'm sorry,
Xbox.
Westworld. No, let's talk about Westworld season 3 and how much it sucked for a second.
you've gone on this rant once before, so
Oh, did I on here? Oh, okay.
yeah,
Yes.
you did.
Yeah,
So.
you did. Xbox Game Pass is now including Fallout 76.
Who cares? Isn't that the one that sucks? Or are people now
It,
playing
it,
that?
it had a bit of a redemption arc. It's not quite to the No Man's Sky level of redemption arc, but it's more positive now than it was at launch.
Oh, they did actually fix some stuff.
Yeah, they fixed some stuff. There's NPCs, quest givers, and there's stuff now. So it's kind of actually almost a game now.
But all your work still can be nuked by a 12-year-old. I'm just saying.
Sweet.
And I think getting the new codes never. I think they patched some of the stuff, but I think it's still way easier to get them than they intended it to be. Seth Rogen is producing a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated series.
I'm all right with that.
Really?
Can't be worse than any of the last few attempts.
Man,
I mean,
that series is.
I'm not sure
Turtles
how
has had like a lot of series.
Oh yeah, a lot. Especially since Nickelodeon got it. They've like rebooted it like 6 times.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how he works the marijuana into the episodes, but we'll figure it out.
Oh, Michelangelo. That's easy.
Yeah, it's.
I mean,
Wow.
dude,
Come on.
so hungry, man. Where's my pizza?
Bloodshot eyes.
That was a Toys That Made Us the episode that actually made me like. I actually almost cried that one. It was the
Reunion.
yeah. Was it? Wait, was it the Toys That Made Us or was it something else?
With
It
the
wasn't-
reunion of the two creators.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the Toys That Made Us.
when
Oh, I
Eastman
didn't
and
see that
Laird
one.
they had a whole
Yeah.
going out and stuff, and
And then
one guy just like really missed like the way things were, and like it was just a real sad story. Like they had this like great success because they were just like goofing around, being friends, and it all just kind of like went away. I was just it genuinely made me sad.
yeah, it was kind of unfortunate for how those two ended up busted up because of it. But
Yeah, that sucked.
and
Last
now I
of
don't
Us-
think any of them make any money off of anything Turtle anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they sold it off, so I mean they're
After the success of Last of Us 2 record success, Naughty Dog is staffing up for PS5, working on a single player game. So they're actually
surprise! Naughty Dog making a single player game.
yeah.
God bless them. God bless those guys.
Well, do you think we'll ever see that Last of Us universe multiplayer?
I hope not.
I hope not for different reasons.
Because you'll lose your life to it. I have
No.
to say, there have been certain areas where I've been going through and I'm like, okay, yeah, this was totally going to be a multiplayer map because there's no encounter there, but you look at the way everything's laid out and you're like, oh yeah, this was totally supposed to be a multiplayer map.
Amazon
Dreams.
delays. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Dreams is finally getting its VR support on 22nd of July.
Which will be great.
To be able to make your VR dreams.
Once it comes to Vive and PC.
Well, I mean, like we said before, PSVR is it has the highest install base of any VR headset.
It is, but I'm getting a little impatient with Sony. They need to announce PSVR 2 and tell us what's in it, and they need to announce a price for PS5 and tell us.
And I mean, do we want to start postulating on that? Because I'm pretty sure Microsoft's big event next week is going to have price. And I think that last week of July or first week of August, Sony will release price because I think they're not. I don't think they're going to step on Ghost. They'll let Ghost release. They'll give it a week. The high end folks will have beaten it by then, and then they'll announce price.
I mean, that's fine.
Okay.
I think if they're smart, they're going to do $4.99 for the disc version and $3.99 for the digital.
If they can
In
pull that off.
in a perfect world, it'd be $349 for the digital, but with, you know, I just see it as, yes, Sony has a financial responsibility for its shareholders, but at the same time, the world is in a worldwide pandemic. The cheaper they can make these and still not lose money, the better at this point, and I think they'll sell better. So if you could do the digital one at $349, have the disc one based at $449 or even $499, you know, that's an incentive to go to the digital route, right? Kind of like what we were talking about earlier in the week, just for fun. You know, you want to move people to digital, giving them an incentive, and $150 less on a console is an incentive to do that. Now, if they come out and say that, oh, by the way, the disc-based version will also play PlayStation 1, 2, 3, and 4 discs, well, then that gives people who've been loyal to them an impetus to pay more. But then if they also say that, oh, the digital version will also play PS1, 2, 3, and 4, then then it makes just more sense to go the digital route because it's cheaper. That's my postulation on it. What about you guys?
I think we're looking at a $499 and a $450. I think that's what the price points are going to be. I've seen some postulation that they think they're actually going to be the same price, and that you'll get either a spin disk or a larger SSD in the digital one. I don't think the larger SSD thing flies based on the technical evaluation we got from Cerny.
Yeah.
But I think we're looking at a 450 and a 500 price point, and I'm guessing the third week of November.
Oh, you think it's gonna be? I think it'll be the second week in November. I think it'll be. Well, actually, what that would be Thanksgiving exactly, huh? Third week in November. So you're saying basically Black Friday launch.
Oh, what? How would be awful.
Well, no, it'd be the 20th, so it'd be the week before if they do a Friday. So the third week is the 16th to the 20th, and the fourth week is Thanksgiving week this year.
Have they opened up like pre-orders anywhere?
No, because they don't have a date I mean, I think there are some like non-reputable sites that have taken pre-orders for random amounts and unannounced dates. But
GameStop.
Yeah, GameStop probably has, but
Right.
like Amazon, Best Buy, any of those types of stores, they
I was
have.
gonna say, like, I don't even know where to pre-order now.
And
Because-
PSA for kids. This is important, and I'll jump right back to you, Dave. Don't go put your money down at GameStop, because if GameStop as a company folds, they will take your money and it will be tied up in court, in bankruptcy court, and they will not give it back to you. So do not use GameStop as a prepay method or layaway method for your consoles. I did this for years, and if your GameStop is even open and it didn't close down like the one here in San Francisco did overnight, no joke, don't do it. Save up your money and buy it that way. I'm sorry, go ahead, Dave.
Yeah,
They had a $400 million loss this last quarter. I'm of the betting sort that they're not going to make it to launch of next console games as a company. So don't give them your money in good faith.
Well, what's that? Yeah, it's like 4 months from now, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be tough. I mean, I figure they probably can limp along till the end of the year.
I don't think so.
And I mean, they have to have the capital for that.
I don't think so. Because COVID, like they were already projecting that if they didn't convert most of their trade into digital devices, meaning iPhones and Androids, that they weren't going to have the capital to make it to the end of the year. And that was before COVID hit, and they were forced to
Oh, wow.
close down.
I thought they were just trying to like get new revenue streams and everything like that. That I didn't realize that was how desperate that move was.
That became their leading source of
Right.
revenue in the last like 6 months before COVID.
Oh, that's sad. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sorry, but you were about to say, Dave. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I wanted to make sure I told people that because this actually came up with a friend recently, and I saved him from putting the money down, and told him that it was a bad bet, and he went back to the store, got his money back, and they closed the following day. That store
Kidding.
closed. No, so just
Fantastic.
FYI.
Wow. Good timing. Yeah, that's something like I don't even know where I would, do a pre-order now. Because I mean, let's face it, you're not going to get a pre-order on like Amazon or online anywhere.
Yeah, you will. Yeah.
No, they sell out in like seconds.
No, that's how I've gotten my last couple, is through Amazon, and they pre-ship so that it arrives on launch day. If you do disc, obviously.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. But last time they had a couple, like last time they did like launch stuff, like I remember the when the Switch, is it like nobody can like people try to get them through Amazon, they're like their pre-orders were sold out immediately. Like
these won't be as in short supply, I don't think. But I don't think the demand for this is actually going to be that high. I really think a lot of people are, for the most part, perfectly fine with their PS4s or PS4 Pros, especially right now. So I think the mass market's going to take a long time. And I think even some of the hardcore market, because of the way things are right now, it's going to take them a while. So I honestly don't think there's going to be much of a hardware shortage for this.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I mean, I would say, once you hear pre-orders are up, don't wait.
Right.
But
well, that's the thing. Like I have a decision to make. Like I have a backlog of games. I am perfectly happy just with the Switch right now. Like legitimately, I am perfectly happy with it.
For like the last 2 years.
Yeah. So it's like, do I care? Is Ratchet and Clank a launch game? It's not.
We don't know yet.
we don't know yet.
What are the launch games? We don't know.
We don't know yet.
We should.
That's why
know
I'm
that.
saying, yeah, we should know that by now. This is really getting frustrating with Sony.
Yeah.
And I remember, Mark, you were losing with the PS4. You were losing your junk when it was a February to November gap, and you were like, "That's not enough time." That's not. And I mean, we're at the end of July, August, and before we're going to know.
I mean,
date
you're
and
talking
price,
about
and-
an output of anywhere between realistically $400 and $600 for the top of the line model, and it's like you've got to give people more time than that to
Not necessarily.
accumulate.
I've been saving for this since the PS4 launch.
But you're not normal, and I'm not normal, and Dave's definitely not normal. We are generally hardcore first adopters. Like I talked to Ken.
That's
I'm
not.
like, are you?
I didn't get a PS. Well, yeah, I did get a PS4 at launch.
And every mobile device that's ever launched.
That is. All right, fuck you. Oh,
Yeah.
That's our one. We're PG-13.
Yeah,
that's our one.
yeah,
we get one.
That's our one.
all right.
One per hour according to AEW standards.
But like,
But
it's all right.
but yeah,
that one.
we're not normal. Like take Ken as an example. He's.
Did you see that Sega is releasing a little arcade handheld? Did you see this?
Yes.
How cool is that? All right, sorry. I'm not getting those little mini Game Gears though. You should be proud of me for that one.
Thank God. Nobody should be getting those.
Amazon delayed New World from August to spring of 2021. It's like they can't.
So serious question though. Like, do we even have any inkling on what the launch games are going to be?
No.
Right now, first party best guess will be Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
Not confirmed, but that's best guessed for first party.
You think Spider-Man's going to be ready for launch?
Oh, they said Spider-Man was
It's a holiday,
holiday. Yeah, I think it
which
will
is
be.
the same time frame that they've given for the consoles.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I
would-
wow.
Yeah.
They must have been pulling double duty on that then.
Well, the two studios, right? So I think Spider-Man was probably handed off to North Carolina, whichever Carolina the other studio's in, and then I think Prime held probably worked on the Ratchet and Clank. Because they've got the two studios, they've got the East Coast and the West Coast studios. So I'm guessing the East Coast studio, which is the B studio.
Wait. So Insomniac is not?
Yeah,
No, it's
Insomniac has two
Insomniac,
studios.
but there's two studios for it.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
So I'm guessing the North Carolina or South Carolina, whichever it is, worked on the Spider-Man because that was all built and everything. All they had to do was
Just upgrade it.
And put miles in.
So Horizon we know is 2021 for sure.
Yep.
Right.
Holiday 2020 for Spider-Man. No release date for Gran Turismo. No release
That
on
won't be
Ratchet.
launch.
Yeah, no release date for Ratchet and Clank, but I agree that will probably be launch. No release date on Demon Souls.
All right. If Ratchet and Clank is launched, we got a problem.
Yeah, well,
I think it has to be because it is the technical showcase. I mean, it's actually going to do what NAC was supposed to do for the PS4, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
every single feature that they were boasting about.
SSD loading, warping through time and space. Oh, look, a billion
Ray tracing.
particles on screen. Ray tracing. It's a tech demo. I mean, that's 100% going to be a launch. I can't believe other. I think Demon Souls will be a launch title as well.
Who cares?
Because, dude.
Sorry.
Wow, we are a grumpy drunk tonight.
Yeah.
No, it's not that. I just don't care.
Project Athia by Square Enix is not a real game and will never be launched.
Oh, now who's the bitter one now?
No, it'll become Final Fantasy 16. That's what it'll be.
No
It'll
way.
become Final Fantasy
No
16.
way. We will. It has no name, no date, and no, it's not.
Is that Viking one that they're digging back up?
No.
I can find
Returnal
that-
from Housemark, which is something Dave should be very interested in because he loves.
What was that?
That's the one. It's the Groundhog Day where she keeps crashing on the planet,
Oh yeah,
and she's
does
got
look-
two different colored eyes.
that does look pretty.
That is supposed to be 2020, so I imagine that might actually be a launch game. It's not first party, but still. Sackboy.
I thought Housemark was.
I think it's a second party game. I think it's
Yeah.
built by Housemark for Sony, so it's an exclusive, but it's not
Right.
first party.
Right. Sackboy Big Adventure. We don't have a date. I'm guessing that's probably
That'll be
spring.
holiday window, I bet. You think
Yeah.
so? I think it'll be all that far out.
That could be a problem too.
Astro
We do know for sure Astro is on
is
the console.
PS5. Yep, on the PS5. So that'll be at launch.
We know that's definitely a launch title. PS4 game that I've been waiting for the launch of the PS5 for. So Control will be a launch game for me.
Control. What? You
The
went super
PS4 game
robotic.
Control. Oh, I said I've been holding on to one PS4 game that I've been waiting for PS5 on because of the performance issues and so I've been waiting
Oh.
for Control. So Control will be a launch game for me.
Makes so much more sense now.
No,
so
not
much
I
more
am-
sense.
So much.
Destruction All Stars, we have no idea. I'm guessing that's gonna be 2021. Godfall is supposed to be out late
Supposed to be launch
2020.
window.
So yeah, that's probably gonna be in there. Steel Rising, I have not seen the trailer for yet. I'll have to check that out.
Don't recognize that name.
Heavenly Bodies is a space game. Maquette. Oh, this was a bunch of the announcements. I didn't get to see any of these. The announcement trailers that they did for the indie games.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched those yet either.
All right.
Which Dave should be excited. The return of PlayStation Indies.
Right.
Which, yeah, it drove me nuts that they kind of like stopped caring about that. They were doing like such a great, like they owned that section of the market for a while during the PS4, especially early on. And like now it seems like, they just let it go to the Switch, which
And then
is,
they put Shuhei on it, so now Shu's working his magic.
Yep.
so I mean, they really should, I mean, they really need to embrace that because that's like a great thing to fill in, the gaps with stuff.
If it
I
doesn't
mean-
get bumped, Cyberpunk 2077 will be a launch game.
That game's going to be bumped for the next 20 years.
Don't do it, Matt.
It's going to be Final Fantasy 16.
Dude.
It's going to be, it's not going to be Duke Nukem forever. Stop.
I'm sorry. It takes a long time for all those penance options.
Village will not be out for till 2021. Pragmata
Super
is
stoked for that one.
2022. Deathloop will be a launch title. That is the.
When's that again?
That's the
That's
1v1 first-person shooter where the guy's stuck in a time loop, and he's trying to
escape the island, and got to kill the 6 guys or whatever. You die, you restart the loop.
Yeah, it looked
then-
very
Awful.
Clockwork Orange meets kind of like 60s movie. It looks really good, actually.
Kind of looked like if Quentin Tarantino made a game, it kind of looked like.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a multiplayer.
So it's
Sort of.
Sort of. You are a player, and there is an assassin who is charged with protecting the island and the time loop, and that is a real player. But everyone else is computer controlled.
Gotcha.
And I think she's computer controlled too if no one's in your game at that point in time. It's not like you have to wait for someone to join the game, I don't think.
Right. I think it's drop in, drop out from what they said. I'll send you the link. You actually, I mean, I know you're not the biggest FPS fan, but let me find it.
Not lately.
I'll shoot that over to you here in a bit. Ghostwire Tokyo is not till 2021. We don't know anything about Little Devil Inside, which I am very much looking forward to that game. NBA 2K21 looks like that will be fall 2020, so that should be a launch title as well. Solar Ash is until 2021. Bug Snacks, holiday 2020, so that should be. I really wish Dave would have been on that show to go through these trailers, because his commentary on these trailers would have been priceless.
It would have been. We should redo that. We should just do a special one-off just going through that, because he probably still hasn't watched most of them.
No, he hasn't watched any of them. I know this.
He's right.
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
Kena Bridge of Spirits, that also looked amazing. I'm sure that's not till 2021.
That does. Oh, my daughter was all over that. Oh my
I'm
god,
all over
she
that.
was like,
Lexi was all over that too. It was amazing.
The only new game trailer I've watched is Pokemon.
Oddworld Soulstorm, probably not going to be till 2021. Stray is not till 2021. Jet the Far Shore is coming holiday 2020, but we still don't even know what the friggin' game is.
Nice.
Hitman 3 isn't until 2021. Metal Hellsinger isn't until 2021. Chivalry 2 has no announced date yet. Paradise Lost, no announced date. Dirt 5, no announced date. Chorus, no announced date.
How many of those are multi-system? Obviously, Dirt's going to be multi-platform.
Yeah. Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines should be launch, I believe, because I believe it launches.
Should be cross too. I think.
Yeah,
I think
it
that's
should
coming
be.
for.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla does not have a launch date. That's the Viking game you were talking about. Oh, Observer System Redo is actually coming out 2020. So that might be a launch game. Lord of the Rings Golem is 2021.
Wait, there's another Observer game?
It's the
Is that
same
a?
Observer game. It's just remastered
Oh, okay, okay.
for PS5 and Xbox. Outriders is set for end of 2020, so that would be launch window. WRC9, I don't know what that game is, but it will be out in September. So that would
That
be a
sounds like
launch.
a racing game.
Yeah, it's World Rally Championship or something like that.
No.
Well,
I didn't even know. I called it.
so I totally guessed. I just totally guessed that title.
I thought that was actually the title. I was like, that just sounds like a launch racing game that nobody's ever going to play.
And then Watchdog
Well,
Legion, I'm hoping we'll find out on
was
Sunday.
the name of the game WRC?
WRC9.
Oh, I think I.
You did, but it's all right. I'm
Yeah,
looking at the
World
trailer
Rally
right now. Yeah, World Rally Championship. Yep.
That was
That's
cool.
hilarious.
Pulled that out of my head.
Watch Dogs London could very well be a launch title, or not London, Legion. Sorry, Legion, which I'm super looking forward to because Dave, instead of walking around and hacking people's phones to see if they have diseases, you can actually like draft the grandma you're hacking into working for Anonymous and the Resistance. And then you get to play as her and build out her own stats and her own skill trees and stuff. And then as your granny with her unique skill set, then you can draft other people and jump into them and build out their skill trees and stuff. And then you can draft all these people on missions. It's pretty interesting.
That sounds crazy.
It does sound crazy.
It sounds like a much more like it sounds like a more detailed. Remember that old game Syndicate?
Yep.
It was like Bullfrog before they got destroyed by EA.
Yep.
Still bitter for. Like, how do you take a company like that and just like annihilate it? I don't
know. Marvel's Avengers will be launch.
I'm not excited for that. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be, and I know you want people to be.
No, I don't want anybody to be anything. I've warmed on it over time. Do I think it looks like the greatest game ever? No. Do I think it looks like something I could have fun playing with my friends? Yes. And so that's kind of the draw for me. You know, I don't
guilt trip city.
No guilt trip involved.
I just I just think it'd be fun, to play with friends. You want to play Hulk? I know you like Hulk. You want to be my?
They have World Breaker Hulk. They also have Mr. Fix-It.
What do you want? Oh yeah, that's what you said the other week.
Yeah, I remember.
There's definitely going to be World War Hulk, or not World War Hulk, Planet Hulk in there.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Here I was just excited for Tony Hawk coming out too.
I did not hear about the Control thing, but yeah, sure enough, you're right. Control will be available on PS5. No announced release date yet for it though.
Yeah, I've been kind of assuming it'll be launch, but
we know GTA Online will be a launch title.
Yeah,
GTA 5 Online.
Talk about the game with legs.
Oh, look at that. It is actually talking about in this article about how Epic is actually updating Fortnite to be on Unreal Engine 5 in 2021. So, yeah, they really are actually updating Fortnite. That's hilarious.
It'll still look the same though. They've trademarked that lame look. So.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. Warframe is apparently also going to be on next gen consoles. It'll be guaranteed if Sony buys them, because Sony and Tencent are having a bidding war. That's something we didn't cover in the news. Sony and Tencent are in a bidding war right now for Leu Technologies, which is the developer for Warframe. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. Also, the other thing we did not report on is that Eurogamer sources confirmed that any game submitted for certification for the PlayStation 4 from mid-July forward must also be compatible with the PS5.
Which implies there are PS4 games that aren't compatible with PS5, which
Yep.
isn't going to be great, but
No.
we'll see. Something else. I mean, Dave did glance at this in his discussion, but they did announce finally a sequel to Pokemon Snap, so that's happening.
Yeah, I'm so excited for that.
And was there anything from today's Treehouse, Dave?
I didn't get a chance to catch up yet.
Oh,
I
I know it was supposed to be Paper Mario focused, if I remember correctly.
I'm pretty sure that's all it was. That's all they kept saying on there. I didn't hear if there's any surprise announcements. I think it was just here's Paper Mario. Watch us talk about Paper Mario and buy it in 2 weeks.
So
I've never played Mario games, so
What's that?
I've never played any of the Paper Marios, so
They're good. Well, they actually, I mean, its lineage is Super Mario RPG.
which
So,
I've also never played. But
so they're kind of Square made it. How did you not play
I
it?
don't know. It slipped through the cracks.
Okay, I just thought it was a requirement for people like you.
Wow.
Dude, back then,
he is an angry drunk tonight. I don't know what's going on with him.
You played everything Square, and like that was a Square game.
I know that it did slip through the cracks somewhere.
To be fair, I have never.
To be fair,
I have never played Paper Mario either.
I can see that. I mean, they're different. I will call them. They're on the lighter side of RPGs for sure. But they often have kind of like creative mechanics, and they're also usually on the lighter side, so they're pretty funny. So I've enjoyed them, through the years. So
I think this needs to happen now. I'm going to put my foot down in the stand. Dave, you need to look at your calendar. We need to make a video where it is us watching and reacting to all the launch videos that you've not seen, and even maybe a couple you have, and we'll make it. We'll leave all the sound and everything in, and we'll make it a private video, and we'll release it on the Patreon page.
sure.
That means you can do cusses.
That, I don't know about that, but I mean,
Creative cusses.
maybe one per hour. We'll see. But anyways, you figure out when you want to do that, and we'll do that because
It was Snaggletooth.
Yes, Snaggletooth. That works.
Well, most of the clear this stuff.
Oh, I see. So yes. Anyways, figure out when you want to do that. We need to do that, and we'll call it the Gamersledge 2021 preview. PS5 preview.
Well, I guess if so we're on a every other week schedule, right?
For the podcast, yes.
Yeah.
This doesn't
This
have
would
to
be a bonus thing.
This
so
would be a
you'd have
bonus
to-
thing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to try and like squeeze it in next week, that might be a good idea.
Tell me
Won't be able
when, and we'll work on that.
Like same time Friday next week, probably.
Okay. That means I'll have to stop streaming Ghost of Tsushima to do that. Okay.
You'll be fine.
I'll be fine.
Oh, so now it's an issue. Like,
No.
people are not playing games.
I said
do this.
I said it's fine.
He's just
I know what he's doing. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We also didn't see they released the box art for Spider-Man Miles Morales and Horizon Forbidden West. So we now know what the PS5 boxes look like, and they look exactly like a PS4 box, except it says PS5 on top.
Yep.
That seems weird, right? Like
Totally seems weird.
that's gonna cause problems.
I mean, they should have black bands or something along the top.
Like,
The spines are black, I think, is the thing that I saw is supposed to be that the spine is black. So if you're looking at from the spine, you have the black and white coloration. But
All right, I guess, but I just like if the box is blue, like people are going to be buying it and trying to jam it into PS4 and going, "Oh, what's going on?" Like I
Really
don't think
though,
people.
I don't think people are gonna do that because they have to spend $500 on a new console. Or you're just saying people who own the PS4 only. I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah, or grandma, if there's someone,
you
that
got
really
you got
does
parents
the
that don't care. I
Wow,
mean,
think about the kids on Christmas that open that game and they see the PS5 and they think they're getting the console too and know they just misbought. That is glorious. That is amazing. Wow. Way to teach the kid reality early. Holy crap.
hey, I got a controller balloon, especially for the show. It's the game on.
That's pretty awesome actually.
You need to take a picture of that and send that to Mark.
Yes, please. I'll make that your intro picture thing. Instead of you being the tired god, you be the game on god.
We had a Mario themed birthday for Alex.
Like,
So we got some balloons that we filled up, and one's like a big Mario, and one was a big controller.
Did you
That has the
hire
game on
any
it.
Italian plumbers?
No, but we got a pinata that was shaped like a PlayStation controller.
Oh,
It's pretty fun.
did
We filled it.
Bowserettes?
No, but there was a Luigi that was hanging outside the door, and would like the wind would blow, and he would like Luigi's face would be in the door, and would scare the hell out of Carrie like 3 times.
Nice. So it was actually the creepy Luigi.
oh, side eye,
Yeah,
side
side
eye.
eyes. That's great. That's fantastic.
I was laughing at that. Like she freaked out and jumped. I'm like, what? She goes, Luigi's outside.
You need to show her that meme. She would appreciate it, I think.
Yeah.
All
The
right. No, go ahead.
Oh no. I was just like I was gonna play the Switch one and try and get screen caps of the Mario stuff in that. And I should like do that while I'm playing with Alex, like because we were like playing Mario Kart a little bit. I was forgetting to get screenshots of like at the end of the game when they're doing stuff because they made some good faces.
Nice. Well, that's going to bring us then to the final part of the show. Matt, what kind of final thoughts have you drudged up this week?
Oh man. I'm very excited about Ghost of Tsushima. I don't know why. Ever since this game was announced, I have just been very excited about it. The last time I had this kind of feeling was Horizon Zero Dawn. And I'm probably expecting too much of it to hold it to that standard for me personally. But I'm very excited for this game. I'm hoping it gets some good PS5 support. So, when people are looking to get it in the future, we still don't know what all the backwards compatibility stuff looks like and
Right.
whatever. So, but I'm very glad now that I've become a HDR snob that I have an HDR TV before this game hits, because I think that's going to be killer for that.
Dave, I have to interrupt Matt. Kurosawa mode. How are you not buying this game?
Are you
Photo
familiar
mode.
with what he speaks of?
I know what he's talking about.
Okay.
You can play the
pretty cool.
entire
Is it-
game in black and white with film grain, as if it was a Kurosawa movie.
And this is the company that was doing photo mode before it was cool.
That's right.
That is, no, I appreciate that. I'm not saying I'm not going to buy the game. I was just curious about like if the gameplay would be fun, and that's because that's a big thing with me right now. Like if I'm going to be playing a game, I need to have fun. And it's kind of like why I didn't buy Last of Us 2, because I know it's not going to be fun for me right now because I'm not in the headspace for it.
On the other hand, you get to take a baseball bat with a scissors taped to it and bash it into somebody's head, which can be quite therapeutic at times.
get that, but I really need games to be that like kind of like mellow escapist, kind of thing right now. Like so I've been playing stuff that's like fun and light. And I kind of need that right now.
Do not play
Um,
Last of Us 2.
yeah, I mean the darkest thing I've played is Streets of Rage 4 lately. Um, which is just like, cartoony violence, I can deal with that. But like I don't need like, post-apocalyptic desolation survival horror right now.
As long as my violence is candy coated, I'm perfectly fine.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
you should join me in Fortnite.
The most candy coated of violence. That truly is.
yeah. I mean, I get it, but yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. You kind of hit the nail on the head.
And then there's me. I just live here.
Yeah, it's just, which I get. I mean, I kind of wish I was that way because, like, I would be able to, like, enjoy like the game, like, right away and everything. But I literally know I am not in the headspace right now to deal with that. I'm just not.
Yeah.
I really want you
Anyway,
to be in on the spoiler cast, even though you haven't played the game yet,
I played the game.
so that we can just discuss it freely and hear your responses to it. But I don't want to do
Actually,
that.
I kind of like that idea.
Okay.
I mean, legitimately,
That one will have to have swears in it because he won't be
Oh.
able to help himself.
Oh no, we're swearing in that one for sure. I mean,
yeah.
like
No,
legit.
honestly, I'm in for that because I mean, let's face it, I'm not going to have the time to get into that with my backlog. I'm probably not going to get to that game. So yeah, I'm totally fine with that.
Okay.
I'm cry, but at least it will be a good consequence, or it's not consequence, side effect of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So please continue. I'm sorry, Matt. I just he wasn't signaling that he was going to buy it, and I, like you, am extremely excited about this game. And I think people should experience it because it's going to be beautiful and it's going to be interesting.
Did you see Shoe's tweet today?
No. What'd he say?
And I don't know if he did this on purpose. He must have, because he knows English better than this. But he said, Ghost of Tsushima is the most beautifulest. He just butchered
Nice.
something about beautifulest together game he's ever played, or
Nice.
ever seen. To that effect.
Nice.
I was just like, yeah, that okay, we get it. You're busy working your indie connections, but you're still gonna take the time to recognize.
Hype the main AAAs. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Shu, so I trust him. I think he's going to be straightforward. It's definitely got to look pretty, and I've already started to see some. There's going to be some controversy when this launches. I know, because I've already started to see some rattling about it, but I'm just going to ignore it, and I'm going to play my little samurai game, and I'm going to be having a good time.
What are you talking about?
No, I don't want to know. I hate to say it like that, but this was Last of Us 2. I stayed controversy free, leak free, spoiler free, review free. I just wanted to judge the game on the merits of the game.
He went game vegan.
Yeah, I went game vegan. my hair went straight up. I had gained superpowers.
Gained superpowers.
That's right. I started dating a chick from Morocco.
The three of us know what we're talking about.
Yeah,
but
I don't know if anybody else does. It's all right. It's one of the 8 comic book characters that Chris, what's his name, has ever played. Just Gaming 002, thanks for the follow. You are a rock star.
Name isn't Chris. Now you've got me totally blanking on what his name is.
I know, right? Captain America. Chris.
Oh, well, yeah, okay. You're Chris Evans. You're talking about. I thought you were talking about. But that's not who plays the.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That's
I know
Superman.
That. No,
okay,
I know that.
Okay,
I know that. But he's
okay.
I just read a article that the 8 different comic book characters that Chris Evans has played, and I'm like, there's one. So yeah.
Yeah. He wanted
Roth.
Yeah, Brandon Roth. He wanted the vegan, but he just wanted to get his Game On.
Oh boy.
I approve.
Thank you. I knew you'd like it.
Dave, final thoughts?
All right, maybe I'll pre-order this Ghost of Tsushima game.
There you go.
You don't have to. Don't do anything you
Why are
don't
you
want
doing-
to, because you'll just regret it later.
Well, yeah, I mean, I want you to
Well,
want
I'll hear
it.
about it later when he regrets it.
Yeah, if you're gonna regret it, don't do it. But I don't think you're gonna regret it. I mean, I think we're gonna lose you to photo mode. I think photo mode will be the plant collecting for you that it was for Matt in The Witcher. You're gonna like turn on photo mode, and you're never gonna make it to the first battle. You're just gonna take pictures of everything. Oh, look
That's
at all
what
the
happened.
filters. Oh, look,
Dude, that's-
Kurosawa mode.
That's why I didn't finish Spider-Man.
You never finished Spider-Man?
No,
I
that's what I'm saying.
actually- I actually also haven't finished Spider-Man.
I know, I'm mad at you, but that's
I know.
okay.
and the worst part about it is now when I go back to it, I have to restart because the way the gameplay is in that game, it like builds on top of,
You could probably get it back, but it
Yeah,
would take
you could
a while.
probably get it back.
it would take a little bit.
I mean, for the amount of
especially
time
since
you
I think I
spend
was playing it-
backtracking in like Dead Cells or friggin' what's the game that was made by one person?
Axiom Verge.
Axiom Verge.
Yeah, Axiom Verge. Come on, man. You'll get it back.
Unlike-
Just play.
on like the 3 playthroughs I've done of that game.
Exactly.
See, that's what I gotta stop doing. I gotta stop like going like, "Ooh, I like that game. Let me play that again."
Final thoughts,
am-
Dave.
Yeah. Yes, final thoughts.
Final thoughts, Dave.
Yeah, I should probably pre-order that game.
Okay.
Okay, he's pre-ordering
All right,
Ghost of
he's
Tsushima.
pre-ordering
That's his
Ghost of
thought.
Tsushima. Yeah.
Yeah.
My thought is that Larian are horrible, evil people. This is Larian Studios, makers of Divinity Original Sin 2 and now Baldur's Gate 3, because my God, they sat down with a bunch of different outlets this week and just let them have full access to the guy that's doing the conversion from Dungeons and Dragons, the tabletop game, into he's in charge of the systems in the actual video game and how they're doing the conversions, and it is mind-boggling. They are attempting to bring all of the spells over. He said, well, there's obviously some issues with some of the higher level spells like Wish. Do we just, give people an email address and say, what do you want? And then program it into the game? There's stuff they can't do like that. But he said most of them, they're figuring out ways to keep the spirit of the spell and make it something useful in the game. And with over 430 spells in the game, in authorized D&D, that should be pretty crazy. There's no level cap for the game. I had heard from one source that they were going to cap it at 10, but apparently that's not necessarily true. They are looking at possibly doing content up to level 20, but no decisions have been made. It's just whether or not they can. The interesting thing that he was talking about is that when they are building the encounters, since they are controlling the leveling and how much XP you get, they have an idea of what your level is and what your power level is when you're at a certain area. And that gets harder and harder to manage the more you level up in the game. But level ups are going to be fairly rare as you proceed throughout the game, because that's the way it works in D&D anyways. So that's a very interesting that they've managed to do that. They talked a lot about revamping the mechanics from when they did the original E3 reveal, where it was everybody in the party takes one turn and then the monsters took their turn. Now it's everybody has individual initiative orders, but if you get 2 people together in the initiative turn, then they can combine their turns and give each other priority. So for example, if Matt and I are in the priority turn order together and he wants to do like a fireball or a firewall, and then I shoot an arrow through it so it turns into a flaming arrow, we can actually set that up and coordinate it. And the more people you have in a block, the better opportunity you have that. So you can do that with 3 people or even your entire party if you can manage to get them all. And so he said what's happening internally right now is a lot of, if like there's two people and then a monster and then two people, they'll single out that guy so that they can kill him and then have the block of the initiative together so that they can better figure out ways to use their abilities together to do the most amount of damage, which is kind of interesting. So yeah, it's stuff like that. There were 2 new videos I watched for a total of an hour of Q&A type stuff. It seems like they are really putting a lot of work into it. They're still shooting for August for early access on it. It's like almost overwhelming how much, he was talking about how there's a spell in the tabletop version. Like, let's say the 3 of us are in a party, right? And let's say that I'm 5 feet or I'm like 10 feet away from the party, and Matt has a shield and Dave's a wizard. Well, Matt can take a skill, a reaction, that makes it so that if he's wielding a shield and a bad guy targets someone within 5 feet of him that's not him, he can use the shield as a reaction to try and stop the attack. And they were talking about the complexity of trying to program that so that the computer wasn't checking the state of Matt at every moment of every time to make sure that A, he doesn't have a shield, and B, whether or not there's somebody within 5 feet of him. And they had to figure out ways around this to program it so that it wasn't, consuming all of the CPU all of the time. It was kind of interesting stuff like that. That's, it's meant so that Dave as a wizard can stand next to the person and feel safe, and you as the tank know that you can protect him because he's close to you. But in a more codified system, it's more difficult to figure that stuff out. So I thought it was super interesting. August is early access. I'm really looking forward to it. So that's my final thought. Check out.
That's not confirmed for console yet, right?
No announcements for any consoles right now. Probably what will happen is we'll see that come out, and then probably 6 to 8 months later, we'll see an announcement for next-gen consoles. I doubt it will come to PS4 at all.
Right. I do have to recant my final thought because I forgot what my original final thought was. So since Dave took Ghost of Tsushima, I'm recanting, and I'm going for Donnie Cates and Ryan Stegman took to Marvel's media stream today to announce they are, despite what they said before, going to do another event book, which I kind of figured, since Ryan's been kind of quiet for a while, that he's been working on something big. But in December, they're going to bring this whole Null storyline that they've been working in Venom to a head, and they're going to be launching a set called King in Black, which is going to be pretty epic looking from the look of it. But the god of the symbiotes comes to Earth, and yeah, as Donnie said, they're not ready. They might think they're ready, but they're not ready. Oh, did I freeze? Oh, no, Mark's just looking at something.
No, I'm just thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it.
I was saying I'm impressed with the amount of growth that Venom and Carnage have had since those two been on the scene.
Oh yeah.
They
both love that character just to death, and it shows in the book they've done. I mean, it's crazy. Donnie came into this with, was it 6 to 8 storylines, and they've been able to follow his original story path almost completely unaltered.
Yeah,
this entire time, which is just insane.
That brings us to the end of the show, where we leave you with a sage piece of advice to carry you through till the next time we meet. Dave.
Yes.
Dave.
Yeah.
What do you call birds who stick together?
I don't know.
Velcros.
Game on, everybody.
Come on.
Until next time, game on.
Game on. That was awful. That was bad. And you should feel bad.